Hi! In this video, we will create and run our first application developed with Android Studio. We will start by selecting Start a new Android Studio project from the Quick Start menu. A new wizard is displayed that will help us create our application. Here we have the chance to give our application a name, with My Application being the default one. Then we are asked about our company domain. This will be used to generate our package name. Keep in mind that the package name will have to be unique in order for you to be able to publish your application on the Google Play Store. So if you have a company or domain name, insert it here. In my case, I will just enter my website. Now the package name will contain the reversed DNS of my website, followed by the name of the application, which in my case is My Application. Next, we get to choose the location that will contain our project files. Unlike Eclipse, which uses workspaces to organize projects, Android Studio is saving each project in its own folder. You can set the project location to be anywhere on your hard drive, but I'll stick with the default location for this project. By clicking Next, we get to choose several form factors for our application. These include phone and tablets, TVs, wearable devices, or Google Glass. In this project, we will only use phone and tablets. Next, we get to choose the minimum SDK for our project. This represents the lowest version of Android that will be able to run our application. By default, Android 4.0.3 API level 15 is selected. At this time, this will cover 90% of the devices that are active on the Google Play Store. By clicking the Let Me Choose link, you will get more information about the Android versions available at this time. Here we can see the distribution for each specific version. To get more information about a specific version, you can click the link located at the right bottom of the screen. For instance, if you want to check the Android version 2.3.3 API level 10, we can see the changes or new features that were introduced in that version. Back to the project wizard, I will leave the default option for the minimum SDK, which is API level 15, and then you get to choose if you want to make your app compatible with Android TV, Android Wear, or Google Glass. In my case, I will leave these options unchecked and will press Next. Then we get to choose the template for our application. By default, a blank activity template is selected. Depending on the type of the application that you want to develop, you have several options here, like Google Maps activity, full screen activity, blank activity with fragments, and so on. I will stick with the default option for this application, which is blank activity, and will press Next. Then we have a few options that will help us customize our activity. You get to choose the activity name, the layout name, the title of that activity, and the menu resource name. Again, I will keep the default options here and we click Finish. After a few moments, Android Studio will start generating the necessary files for our project. At first run, Android Studio displays a Tip of the Day dialog. This is very handy in case you are new to Android Studio and want to become more familiar with its features. You can choose to see the next available tip by clicking the Next Tip button, or you can disable this dialog by unchecking the Show Tip on Startup option. Let's now take a look at our project files. Sometimes Android Studio will perform some background jobs. These are displayed at the bottom of the main window. By default, the main layout file is opened for us. Android Studio contains several panels and windows, and we are going to discuss each one individually. But in this video, we will take a look at the project panel. This will contain your Android Studio project files. By default, this will display the files organized by type. For instance, the manifest folder will contain the Android manifest file. The Java folder will contain all the source code files for our project, and the REST folder will contain all the resources files of your project. By switching to Project View, we can see the actual file structure on your hard drive. For example, the app folder will contain the source folder, and inside this one there's the Java folder that contains the source code files for our application, in our case mainActivity.java. Let's try running the application by pressing the Run button, which looks like a green play sign. After a few moments, in which Android Studio is executing some tasks, a new dialog appears giving us the chance to choose either a real device or emulator that will run our application. During installation, Android Studio creates an emulator of a Nexus 5 phone running the latest Android SDK at that moment. By choosing the emulator from the list and pressing OK, Android Studio will launch the emulator for us. You have to be patient here, as starting the emulator for the first time could take some time. As soon as the emulator becomes available, I will unlock it and we can see our application running. While you are still developing, it's a good practice to leave the emulator running in the background in order to be able to test your application quickly. So in this lesson we created our first application in Android Studio and ran it in the emulator. Thanks for watching.